30 years of doing this, what have you learned about man? What have you learned about human beings? 30 years of doing this.
They're evil. They are. Honestly, I didn't need to be in the police to work some of that out. But, you know, there are some evil people out there. And we use a phrase, I used it earlier on, are they mad or are they bad? You know, and there are some very, very bad people out there. And I don't think any of them are trustworthy, if I'm honest with you.
Anybody?
No, look, why do it... That's a real sweeping statement. But when you say something, oh, don't say anything, and you know full well you're feeding that in because they'll go and tell somebody, you start to get the rub around human nature, don't you? And that, most people don't do it for any bad reason, but yeah, you've got to be careful.
How many times have you been married? How many times have you been married?
Once.
And you're still married to the same person?
Yeah. Yeah,
what do you do when you're talking to your wife and you're like, babe, I know you're bullshitting me. Do you call her out, or do you just kind of like, what do you do? What do you do when that happens? Do you just not say anything?
She just got back. Man,
she just got back.
She just got back in. No,
I mean, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes
I end up with a knife through my heart.
Paul Maleary has been missing for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You know, I've got two wonderful sons.
But you know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is, like, you know, sometimes I've been in sales for 20 years, and I've had a lot of weird people in my life who are bipolar and personality disorders, and I've been forced to study body language because I don't have a choice. I had to know a person who's got 7 different personalities. Every day I had no idea who this person was going to be. So I'm like, who are you today? I'm like, okay, let me pivot, right? But when you're a parent now and you got kids and you're married, and you know, nobody walks on water. When your kid lies to you, your spouse lies to you, somebody is maybe not wanting to tell you the whole story, and you know it and you read it, what do you do about it?
Try and keep a lid on it. It's difficult. The worst thing is when, you know, and I still find it now. I run a business now. I run a company that we recruit cops. So when cops retire, we recruit them into the public or private sector. We've got a services site, so people have got their own businesses. They advertise with us a few pounds, a few dollars a month. But I still get to the point when someone says, if someone walks into your office and says, do you know what, I've really messed up here, you can almost forgive them. You can actually say, okay, as long as they tell you the truth. But
sure.
When they walk in and say, I never did it. And that's, you know, your first instinct is to go off like, we have a phrase here, go up like a tuppenny rocket. And it's just, yeah, I can explode sometimes. I know you find that hard to believe, but I have got, I can get quite animated. But I suppose that's a passion.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I'm asking this question is, like, you know, to be doing this business and you're still married to the same, how many years have you guys been married? You said grandkids, so I'm assuming, okay, 30 years. I mean, you have to know, for 30 years, you've been dealing with people who cheat, lie, steal, kill.
Yep.
And you're trying to come home and say, babe, how are you? Oh my gosh, kids, daddy's here to play with you. How you doing? Did you do your homework? Of course I did my homework. You're like, you know, this kid didn't do his homework. So
no.
How do you not bring your work home with what you do on a daily basis? My
kids knew, when I was on the major investigation side, my kids knew where I was by the news, because the county is, the department that we were on was quite small. So if there was a homicide, a murder, it would make the national news, or the local news, most certainly. So my kids knew, and I was quite an errant father. I'll tell you, this is a true story. My son plays field hockey. He's 6'5". He's a giant now, but plays field hockey. I know that you don't play field hockey out there. Guys don't play field hockey out there. And he got through to a national final. And I was in Washington, D.C. at the FBI Academy doing a job there. I should have been at home. I should have been watching my son play hockey. And, you know, I'm doing it all by the phone. How'd he get on? Yeah, he did really well. You know, you just think, I missed out so much. But here's the other thing of that story. I travelled out there with a single pubic hair. A young girl been sexually assaulted, and a single pubic hair was found on her underwear. And we'd identified the suspect, DNA, the whole 9 yards. But they brought into doubt how she collected this on her body. So we went and found a scientist at the FBI in Quantico. We went up there. Fascinating guy called Carrie Owen. You couldn't wish to meet a nicer guy, but a more interesting. He's the man who found the blood or the fibers on the break of the murder victim in Texas when they dragged the black guy behind the truck, and he found microscopic piece of debris, and they linked that car to the murder of that guy. Absolutely, he's fascinating bloke. Anyway, we go over there with a single pubic hair. I wasn't allowed to fly down to my family holiday in Florida. My parents had a house in Florida at the time. I had to fly all the way back to the UK for one day and then fly back to the States after. The kid, by the way, who sexually assaulted the girl, he got found not guilty by the court, by the jury. They couldn't decide how that hair was found on the inside of her clothing attached to her body. He said that he'd urinated in a particular place, the hair had been secreted, it went onto her inside of her clothing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Did the kid ever commit another crime later on in life or no?
Yeah, he got locked up. In fact, within 3 days, he went out, committed a robbery, and he got locked up for 5 years.
Got it.
Good. We get on a plane, flying down to Florida, US Air, into Charlotte, from Charlotte down to Tampa. Excuse me. Kids have got the FBI hats on. So this isn't long after 9/11. So everyone was a bit twitchy around it. Guy walks up, says to the kids, and the kids are about 3 rows back, but they're in double seats, sitting on their own. We didn't want to sit with them, have them sit with us. They were a pain, you know. They're just, oh, can we have this, can we have that? So, and the steward says, where'd you get the hats from, guys? Because got FBI hats. He said, oh, my dad's just been out. Our dad's just been out to Quantico. Brings over a bottle of whiskey. Says, we welcome law enforcement on US Air. He's been my friend ever since. Ever since.
Wow.
And I still keep. He still lives in Charlotte, and I still keep in touch.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. But you know, we're lucky. Police guys and girls are lucky. It is a great job, despite the popular media giving them a kicking on a regular basis. Some of it is deserved, some of it's not. It's still a great job.
So if you like this little short clip from an interview I did, click over here to watch the entire interview, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.